What's going on, Kingdom Diplomat? Just wanted to hop on here real quick. Um, wasn't planning on this, but I said I might as well just go ahead. So before I hop on at my normal day and time tomorrow at 7 p.m. EST, I hope you guys would welcome me and hop on there again. If it's your first time, please go ahead and subscribe and like. So the AI will actually bring it across your screen more often, and obviously that gives me more juice, sauce, as some people would say, to help other people also too. So here's why I wanted to hop on here, guys. I'm sitting out here in the back patio and just listening to traffic and looking at some of the greenery, the sky, just trying to enjoy the moment. Obviously, because you know the way the system is set up, chasing money and chasing titles and chasing all the wrong things. Obviously, as time goes by and you can look up and 10, 15, 20 years later on, 30, 40, 50 years later on, you're like, what the heck? And you accumulate a lot of regrets. And, one way to look at that is that if you do have some regrets, that means you were trying to do something. Maybe it could be the wrong motives. Maybe you were hanging around the wrong people. Maybe you're doing the right things, but wrong timing. Maybe you had chances to do certain things, but you didn't take that chance. And because of fear, because of approval, whatever the case may be, you have to understand something is that number one, you're not perfect. So stop trying to be perfect, right? Nobody is. Right? I hear that in a lot of sports. And, I'm not saying I didn't have that mindset where I had to be. It was a stronghold. It's actually a trap. It's a spiritual, mental trap, and obviously physical trap. It's a threefold trap. And the reason why I say that is because it's a trap. And, one thing about strongholds, you can be, maybe there's something in the natural that you're trying to break, a habit or something like that, and you're having challenges with that. But the worst stronghold is the one in the mind. That's the worst stronghold. As I always say, the prison is in the mind. And so with that being said is that, you don't have to try to be perfect. So some of the principles that I've taught and laws that I've taught is because I've learned them, not just from reading, successful principle books and applying some of these, obviously first gaining the knowledge and understanding of these principles and then applying them, in life and watching them come into fruition before my eyes, but also, being mentored, by millionaires and multimillionaires. And no, I'm not saying everybody has to be a millionaire, but these principles that I'm preaching are obviously not, and the word preach means to say, okay? So I don't want you to run off and be religious. But anyway, so it's to basically kind of get you to understand that you can just start, okay? I don't care if you worked for somebody for 40, 50 years. I don't care if you retired. Your life is more than just, if you're already past that, or close to that, or if you're in the beginning, it's more than what you were taught to do. So I'm here to tell you that you do matter, you do count, and you don't have to be perfect. So start where you are, and one of the things you'll understand, I was just thinking about something. A lot of people think that in order to find some people who are successful in certain areas that you want to be successful in, whatever your definition is that, and of that, and maybe that's something that you should actually write down. If you can't find your own definition of success, you're not happy with it by looking it up, okay? Who's to say that they're actually right? It's for you. right? See, one of the misnomers and one of the traps that I've learned in pursuing our vision, which was already implanted into us before we even arrived, through the birth canal, so it's already in you. Is one of the traps I've learned is that we try to emulate and think that, okay, this is how this person or this man or woman did something, that's how I have to do it. Success is based upon individualism, okay? And everyone has a vision already inside themselves, right? And they already have the talents, abilities already in them, okay? So your future, again, is not ahead of you, it's actually trapped on the inside of you, okay? I can't say that enough, because the way it's been preached out here, in the public school system, and I'm telling you stuff that you won't hear tomorrow at work, especially in the bathroom, whether in the cooler, water cooler, with your employees, your boss, you won't hear this, okay? So this is a lot of stuff that I gathered up that I have here, okay, in my memory bank, is that it's not, the success principles are actually universal, but you have to individualize them, okay? And what I mean is you have to apply them individually, okay? What's good for somebody else may not be good for you, okay? We all are in we have different situations, different dynamics, different family situations, different financial situations, different spiritual situations, different mental situations. You have to find out what works best for you, okay? And so I just want to hop on here and say you don't have to be perfect, just start somewhere. Start with that vision book, okay? Write down exactly. You can go to, I found this out, I think it's canva.com, Canva, I believe it is. It's either Canva or Canvas, and you can actually put together, how do you want to live, okay, 5 years from now, 3 years from now, 10 years from now, okay, and have those images. You got to remember, see, if you don't even understand how your brain works, then how are you going to understand how to achieve certain things, right? It's easy to give up, okay, but it's easy not to give up. Okay, so somebody has to do it in your family. Don't count on, your cousin. Don't count on your niece, your nephew. Well, I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm too this. I mean, just quit with the excuses. Okay, what an excuse is just it's a reason stuffed with a lie. That's what an excuse is. And I understand. Listen, we all lie to ourselves to a certain degree. Everybody does. Especially to ourselves, right? What we can't do, what they said. We need this approval. Listen, you don't need permission to win, right? You don't need my permission. You don't need your parents' permission. You don't need your aunt's permission. You don't need to be 70. You don't need to be 100. You don't need to be 20. Just, I hate to say it, but just do it, right? And so with that being said, find out wherever you're at. And here's what I want you to do. Do some background research on how to start a business. See, most of you are trapped in a job, okay? The job will never pay you what you're worth. You've been working there for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. You complain a lot, behind the scenes, right? I've done it before, and you don't do anything about it, okay? So do some research, start a business, okay? You don't need anybody's permission. You don't need government's permission. You don't need your next door neighbor's permission. You don't need this permission. Just do some research on what business. If you don't know which one, okay, if you have a skill set in a certain area where you've been working at for the last 6 months, year, 2 years, okay, get it down packed, that one skill set. Don't try to focus on anything else. One at a time. Focus on that skill set, okay? Master that skill set, whether it take a year, 2 years, 3 years, okay? And while you're doing it, start a business in that area, okay? There's plenty of resources out there. You just got to look, okay? Cut back your TV time, cut back your video game time, cut back your gossip time, cut back your complaining time, cut back all that stuff that's keeping you down, and go ahead and do it. Now, do I know that not everybody's going to do it? I understand that, but I'm just looking out for one person, one man or woman rather, not person, because apparently that word was changed, person was changed to a corporation some years ago, a couple of 100 years ago. So when you say person, you're saying a corporation, which that's actually taken away, that's actually devaluing a man or woman. But that's a whole nother side topic in itself. You're not a corporation, you're an actual man or woman part of the royal species of mankind. So, all right, I just want to stop in real quick, a little NASCAR pit stop, and wanted to drop that on you guys. I hope you guys are doing well. Um, I hope you are in the moment. I hope you're not taking time for granted, because you'll never be able to get it back. That's for sure. And go out there and take some chances. Go out there and mess up. Go out there and take some notes too, the old-fashioned way, right? Pencil and paper, right? And blue pen, not a black pen. Why blue? Listen to me. Why blue? Because blue helps cognitively you to focus and be more creative. Okay, colors matter. All right. Why do you think in some jails they paint the walls like a gray color or a pink color? Because it makes people docile and less aggressive. Okay. Anyway, so everything matters, but nothing matters. Try to figure that one out, right? But yeah, start a business. Okay, you need to expand outside of that job. Okay, that job is only going to pay you what the position's worth. Okay, that job is it's never going to pay you what you think you're worth, and what you think you're worth, you need to multiply that by 3. Okay, you may not see it, but I see that in you. I don't need to know you. I just know you're part of a royal species called mankind. Okay, because my first contracting job as a paper boy, I think I was about $2 and something cents an hour. Okay, and even 15 years ago, I remember the job that I had was around $11 and some change an hour. I know that was really low at the time, but it was all I could do. I just did something, right? I didn't sit on my butt, and I did something and did other stuff outside of that. And wrapped up last year doing the job, running these businesses. One of my businesses did a national campaign, okay, 35 days. So I'm owed 6 figures, okay, in 35 days. Took me 2.5 weeks actually to start gaining momentum. But from 0 to 35 days, 6 figures, okay? And I said, heck, if I can do that, number one, I said, why did it take me so long? Number two, I was like, if I could do that in 35 days, why can't I do that in 35 seconds? Why can't I do that per second, right? I just need to find the right vehicle, find the right idea, and just start something, okay? So you guys have a great week. Well, actually, back up. I'll be on tomorrow, okay? At 7 p.m. Be there, be square. Send this out to some people, man. It's time for men to wake up, okay? Obviously, our neighborhoods, our families are being torn apart, part of gangs, corruption. They're dealing with a lot of mental illness. They're dealing with a lot of spiritual, mental, physical challenges, sickness, disease, poverty, lack, violence, incest, all the things that that are a part of all of our families, right? But one family that I'm talking about is mankind, the royal species, right? So be there, be square, okay? Take some notes, lower your ego, lower your pride. I'm still looking to learn from people who have what I want, right? And even people who don't have what I want, I still want to listen to them. Why? Because they may have some things that I need to learn that they did that I shouldn't do, right? You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to be a constant student, all right? So you guys have a great rest of your evening. Don't take time for granted, because everybody's always on the clock, and live with less regrets, okay? So I'll see you guys tomorrow. YouTube Live, 7 p.m., Kingdom Diplomat. Out. Tariq. All right. Make it happen.